Welcome to the second episode of the show. I'm so excited to bring my brother. I'm excited to have you on, Sugam. I met you, got that 2 days ago, exactly in the same restaurant here.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know we've been connected on Instagram for like
a year?
Like a year, yeah.
Yeah.
And like we sat down and we just yapped about traveling, about Nepal, about stock trading, and so many things. I feel like the only time where we stopped talking was one of us when we had to go to use the loo.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to have you here. I am excited about your story to let everyone know about what you do and your journey. I feel like our journeys are similar in a sense that we both kind of left everything behind at home and in the pursuit of something, our personal calling, I would like to call it.
Yeah.
Whether it's passion or something that we're figuring out that we want to do for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for agreeing to do this.
Yeah.
It means a lot. Thank you.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So I know you as a content creator, but also someone who is very like a doer, who like I feel like you're someone that if you want to do it, you just kind of go for it instantly, and you get things done, and I like that about you, and that's very admirable. And I want you to share your journey, and I guess like how would you want people to know you as? People who are watching, I'm sure there'll be people watching that are being introduced to you for the very first time.
Man, that is a hard question in a way, but I think personally for me, the way I want to be remembered is just being myself and doing really hard things that kind of scared me, but I went and did it. I think that's it, to be fair. And hopefully just that kind of inspires other people to kind of take action in their lives and do something that they're scared of, and kind of take that leap of faith.
What scared you the most, like before you started making videos? Or because I know you were working in corporate as well, just like myself, and like what was the thing that scared you, that made you like kind of say that this is the scarier, it'd be more scary if you stayed the same rather than you like jumping for a change?
I would say personally for me, right, like I've been making content for about 5-6 years now. Then once I got into corporate, because that was my, like when I was younger, I wanted to kind of be in the corporate world, in banking, in finance, because my degree was in like economics and finance, right? Then once I got there, I kind of got comfortable in the first year because of the paycheck, the people, a routine. But as like you kind of get very comfortable with that routine, you kind of like lose what your actual goal is, right? Because when you first start, and like by the time you're in your first or second year, you kind of forget what you're actually doing this for. And for me, I forgot, like this is too comfortable. I'm a bit young, kind of scared me, because like, when I'm in my phase, I'm not gonna have the same like restricted abilities, right? And the biggest change for me that really scared me was, I think around May 2024. So we had this huge layoff in our company, laid off over 100 people that day. I mean, like as gradually weeks went by, and I saw a lot of faces that kind of invested in the company for 5, 10, 15 years.
Who've been working for a while, more than me, way longer than me. My mentors, my my corporate buddies in a way as well. And kind of seeing that, and I thought, damn, like these guys really gave a large part of their life there, and kind of just sent to the roads, right? And the biggest one was probably from my sales director, was like kind of like my mentor, and he's been in the company since I don't know, when it was a startup, right, which was about 15 years ago, and he's been there for the journey, and he was like the 5th or the 10th employee, and he got laid off as well. So I was like, okay, I can either just like keep working here, and one day like I had the risk of like kind of working for someone else's dream and having getting laid off, or I can just pursue my own thing. So that kind of scared me. That was like the point that was, okay, Sugam, like flip the switch.
You can't be scared. Like that's probably the hardest thing you're gonna go through, right? So
I guess the feeling of like, all right, like you worked so hard, you've done well at university to get a job that you want, and you finally get a job, then you kind of figure out that not only you're questioning yourself if this is what you want to do for the rest of your life, or like, is this what you want to do? Is it someone else's idea of happiness or success that you're following? And I guess what you're saying is like,
having like people laid off, people who have worked more than you, people who are in much higher positions, and for them to be, I guess, replaceable, having that feeling that you can be replaced yourself at any day and any given time, is like you said, like a wake up call. To pursue your dreams. I was like, I remember this wasn't too long ago. I saw this meme, not a meme, but like a quote that said like the economy is so bad that it forced me to follow my dreams. And I feel like that is so true for like most cases.
That's completely true. You know, like you see a lot of like graduates that graduated during COVID, after COVID, that haven't really got the job they wanted. And you know, that's some of my friends that are still in uni that have like really good degrees, you know, from Russia Group Uni, all the like the labels that you need. But I think because of that, a lot of people kind of have, well, we can be in different boats, right? But some people are like, let me just do this. Like, let me follow my dreams.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. So wait, how old were you when you decided to quit your job?
I was 24.
And you were working for how long?
About 2 years in finance.
Too long. Oh, sorry, 2 years. So being Asian, having Asian parents, what was it like to, you know, confront that with your parents and be like, you know, I've kind of worked so hard for this, but I want to do something completely off. That's not even related to something I studied.
So, you know, this is a long story. Like, I'm going to just shorten it, right? So, for me, I've always kind of been like business minded. So even when I was in corporate, like, I was like, okay, I'm only here for like 5-10 years. I'm here to learn the skills. I'm not here to like, you know, just be here forever. Even though I did get comfortable in my first year, right? And, you know, I used to have like, you know, I used to tell my mom, like, I'm going to quit my job soon, like in a year, 2 years, whenever, right? I used to always have the argument with my mom. It's like, you know, you've done so well. Like, look what like people are saying. You know, who's going to say this, who's going to say that. And it was hard, I would say, like quite hard, right? I think we had an argument like every...
Like what were they saying? Like what was their argument?
My mom's argument?
Like
is the fact that because you work so hard for like a degree, you know, like for masters, did all these internships, invest a lot of time, and you're just gonna throw away to something that may not actually work out. And I totally understand her. And you know, obviously my mom and dad are very educated as well, and they kind of wanted me to be in the educated path. So that was their argument, and they obviously, you know, Nepalese culture, Asian culture is to kind of like, you know, we're a very collective society, so we kind of think of like what other people think. So the
comparison,
the comparison. So that was the main argument, and I think for me, I kind of broke it to her like in March of 2024. So we went. So like I had like a really good like year, you know, like in terms of like making money and stuff. So I was like, you know what, let me take my mom to Dubai for her birthday and the Mother's Day. Kind of took her there. Then like one of those nights, like I think just the day before her birthday, we just had like a long talk about like what I want to do in my life and stuff. And I kind of told her that like I don't know if this corporate world is for me, you know, like I don't know when I'm gonna quit, but I'm gonna quit like in a year, 2 years. And I want to just pursue my goals and stuff.
You know, when you start your corporate job, you didn't have this feeling, I think, obviously, but you actually wanted to do what you were doing, right?
Corporate.
Like when you first started, it could be your first week or like the first few months.
To be fair, like, cause how do I say, like, cause you know the fitness coaching and the content creation, right? I was doing it since university.
Okay, so you were doing that on the side already.
On the side, I was always doing on the side, but I knew that like I wanted that corporate feeling because when I was 17, we went to like for my school trip, we went to Bank of England and we went through like this corporate company is called Lloyd's. Not the bank, but Lloyd's, the trading center, right? And I was like, I really want to work here, right? Because you know that. I don't know, that feeling that I got when I was 17. I want to see what it feels like. So even though I had like all this stuff going on the side, I knew that like when I was a kid, I wanted to work in finance, like when I was like 17, 18. And I wanted that feeling. So when I went in, I was like, okay, I'm going to give my all in corporate.
Nice. So do you feel like, let's say you're making videos now, you wanna combine fitness as well as travel, as well as your, I guess, your life experiences. And do you think like your degree of finance, not that when you look back, it's I don't think it's ever a waste, but do you look back and think, oh, like that was never needed, like I could have just skipped that to just kind of go all in early on videos?
I actually don't. I think it's very like I'm glad I did my degree. because I did in economics, right? And business and finance management for my master's. So economics, right? I don't know if what degree did you do?
I did computer science.
Computer science. Okay, so very similar degree, right? I think depends on like what degree you do and like what you learn out of it. For me, like, as like economics is a very like a subject where you're like kind of thinking about money, kind of thinking about
very money oriented,
but it's also very psychologically and behaviorally like oriented as well, right? Because you kind of study of people and how they behave. So for me, like it kind of helped me kind of like have a like a framework, like a framework. So like, you know, everybody has like a framework of what they learn as a kid. And I feel like for me, through economics, I learned like the rational consumer theory, which just means that a consumer is like very rational. It doesn't have no emotions and kind of does like the right thing every time, right? Obviously, it's not real life, but this is just a theory, right? So I always go back to that mental model of like thinking, you know, what would a rational person do in this situation? You know, if my emotions,
you take your feelings out of the equation.
So for me, like it's definitely helped, and even the corporate job I did. So it's quite a big company. I'm not gonna name it. You can go check in LinkedIn, because obviously I'm not gonna mention them because it's for legal reasons. But I worked in the startup market, like in the division side of things, and I was able to learn a lot, like how startup works, how much production you needed, like how much like works and budget investment actually goes into it, right? So in a way, no, I don't think it was. I think personally, it's like a it's like I feel like it was supposed to happen, you know. For me to kind of grow further and kind of learn all these things to like put into my life.
Okay, that's cool. Like,
what about yourself? Because you did computer science.
Similar. Like, I don't look back at it and be like even the things I learned doing that course, and like you said, something I was doing on the side was like, I was making websites. I was always doing creative stuff. So all the skills are like, I feel like they're all transferable skills to what I'm doing now, whether it's like if I'm making let's say a YouTube thumbnail, it's something I learned during the uni days, or like making videos, or like I like making portfolio website, or like how to I think it has come to a point where like you have to make yourself as a brand, and how to not just stand out, but how to personalize your brand using the skills you have, and make yourself out there and create a digital footprint based on who you are and what you do, and you want people to look at you at a glance and just be like, okay, this person knows what he's doing, and you know, do things that people respect you for. And I mean, to answer your question, I feel like I don't look back and think it was a waste. Even like I used to think, oh, maybe I should have done this like years ago, maybe 5 years ago. It would have been so cool. But then I wasn't the same person 5 years ago, you know.
That's the thing.
And even if the same experience, even if the exact same experience I'm going through now happened 5 years ago, I would not have been able to. I was not in a position to be able to receive and interpret things the way I do now. And it would have been just different, I guess. And maybe it's the same for you as well.
So like you just mature more, right? You can understand like how to use this skill.
Because like when you first develop your passion, you can't help but wonder all the times that you've wasted not working on that passion. Right? But then I guess it's important to realize those experiences, you're like accumulation of all the experiences you've had. And that's what makes you. And I think it's important to not like discard your experiences. I think like I used to work at Curry's, and I used to do sales, and I think that was one of the sales job in general. I feel like
is the best.
Is one of the best jobs. I feel like if I have kids, I'm putting them in sales. I always say this to people, but it's like any job where it forces you to like be out there and talk to people. And bear in mind, I was like super introverted. I was like I said in our last conversation. I was like I would make excuses not to even go in school if that meant I could skip like the classes where they make you like stand up and read books. And I used to hate like socializing, or just be in a position where I just had to speak.
I got you.
My English wasn't great, and I wasn't able to express myself clearly. But like after like doing that sales job, it's just like gradually there wasn't like a moment where like it kind of flipped a switch, but it was just like gradually made me more confident in front of more articulate with my thoughts and things I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, like going back to the experience, if I didn't have the experience, I would for sure not be here in front of the camera, even like have the capacity to hold a conversation like this. For sure.
No, I totally agree with you, right? Like sales, I think, is one of the best.
Honestly, bro, sales,
Because like even me, when I work in corporate, right, I was in the sales and marketing department as well. So you understand so much about human psychology, like getting rejected a lot, like how to overcome rejections, and how
human psychology and to control your emotion is such a big thing.
So I totally agree. Sales is like one of the best skills you can learn.
Even like making videos when it comes to like controlling emotions. Sometimes I feel like let's say we're doing this video, right? And in my head, I have like a certain idea of how it might go. But then at times where ideas always sound better in head than in person, or like when you see on the screen. And that's where like managing emotions and managing like your expectations comes in handy. And it's crazy, like I never thought of like this sales thing. Like I haven't had a conversation like this for a while regarding with like how sales has helped shape me become a person that I am now. But like honestly, sales, like if you're watching this, just go into sales. I think I was 17 or 18 when I first went in sales. So for sure,
it's a very good skill. I think you also understand when people are trying to sell you things as well. Like So it's a very good skill to have, I personally think, because
especially like you're making videos, I'm making videos. I'm sure you're like either negotiating or like talking to other brands or like talking to other people for collaboration. And there's always like a give and take, and there's always a skill to either negotiate maybe a price or like speak to
like a brand.
It could be a brand or a client. And that's very important. That's something I'm learning as I go as well. Like I said, I've been doing this for less than 2 years. And there wasn't like a blueprint where I could like follow and you know, and be like, oh, okay, this is what I need to do under this circumstances or this situation. But it's quite interesting, man. And I also want to ask you that. I know you said it's been less than a year that you've been doing this.
I would say like full time.
But full-time. Like after you left your job and you're doing this full time, where like all your focus and your mental energy is towards going this. So, and another thing was like, like I said, the question I wanted to ask was, how have you been managing? Like, 'cause for me, I've been in Nepal for like 2 years and I left my job and I've kind of not stuck, but like just decided to stay in Nepal for a while, whereas you've traveled a lot. Back and forth between Bali, Vietnam, and then Thailand, and then now you're here in Nepal. How has that been to you? Like, how do you maintain that? And like, has it like, I know you must have like expectations before you ventured out on this like adventure, I guess. And like, has it matched your expectation? What was it been like?
So like since like last year November, I've been in like 6 countries now, right? So Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Bali, Indonesia. And in the last 18 months, like I've kind of traveled to like I think 14, 15 countries, right?
Oh, nice.
But like I would say like just living places. So I've lived in like all these places for the last year. And before I left the UK in November of last year, I would say I had like a huge expectation. I knew it was gonna be fun because, you know, for me, like one of the things I was really kind of like worried about was like losing my Asian identity as I was like growing up in the UK. And I knew that coming back to Asia, I would kind of like get the identity back and kind of become like a whole person, right? Like a person who's like just more complete as a person, right?
Nice.
So it's been quite good, I guess. Like you know, I've kind of like I haven't really like traveled like a lot, I would say. Like a lot as in like I would come to a place, like for example Thailand. I stayed for 2 months. I may just like, you know, go some places, but I'll kind of stay in one place, right? For a bit and kind of just move around. Kind of act like I live there basically.
So do you feel like because I kind of like bring this up in every conversation I have with people who travel a lot. I feel like there's a sense of like kind of like a fatigue if you move around a lot. And you kind of like lose sense of like not necessarily stability, but like the sense of home and sense of like belonging, I guess. because you just don't give yourself enough time and space to settle down and call a place a home.
Yeah.
For a long while.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. Personally, like, kind of stayed in Bali for like 5 months.
Yeah.
But for me, I kind of know like this is just temporary, right? Like I'm not gonna be doing this like in 3-4 years time. Moving on like this much, right?
Yeah.
So always back in my mind is that okay, the home right now, home still is UK.
Yeah.
And this is just a temporary, so just enjoy the present, like. Nice. Don't really think too much about it. If anything happens, I can just call my friends or my mom. So I don't really actually think about that too much, if I'm honest with you. Yeah.
Nice.
What about yourself? Because obviously you've been in Nepal for 2 years, eh? So, and it's very different to UK.
Yeah, very different. I'm in the same boat. I don't have like a definite answer.
Yeah.
Where I don't know, I kind of feel like home is where your heart is and heart is where your family is, I guess.
Yeah.
So, and obviously my immediate families are, they're in the UK.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I came here after like 13 years. 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I came here as an adult. And like I said, it's very different coming here as an adult and seeing the things that you kind of saw as a kid, but like you're now seeing in it from a different lens.
Perspective, eh?
Perspective and experiences you're having.
Yeah.
And you kind of understand why people leave this country for a better life. You kind of understand why there are certain things in this country the way they are.
Yeah.
And you understand the culture, the people, the way things work here, the way people like to work here, the culture, the work culture.
Yeah.
I feel like the creative scene is crazy here. I don't know if you've noticed. Or like,
it's very creative. Yeah.
People are so creative here. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
It gives me like, it makes me feel like I'm just like a small fish in a big pond. I have imposter syndrome, and it makes me think, wow, like I want to strive for that level.
I feel you.
And it's good to be surrounded by people that I surround myself with people that I'm inspired by and look up to and respect and admire their work, and it's nice to be there. I like that about Nepal. I think as long as you focus, for sure. Like I remember when you went Bali and you were telling me how there's a creative hub with this fitness as well as like people who are into the same things as you, like making videos and fitness and traveling. It makes you lock in. It makes you lock in,
and you generate more ideas because you've kind of like kind of the similar interests, similar things you guys want to do, similar goals. So you kind of have this you form this third brain of
spirit.
Spirit that you can come up with different ideas, things together. So I feel you, like, it really helps. Really helps.
Do you feel like, compared to Bali, or like anywhere else you have traveled within a span of a year, just within that community, do you find that more in somewhere else other than Nepal? Or like, where is it that you find that the most?
Like the most creative?
Creative, Where you feel like super inspired by the environment?
I would say it's Nepal right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason I say this is because obviously I've gone to other countries, right? And obviously places like Thailand, Bali, Singapore, beautiful places, amazing, right? But Nepal is just as like beautiful, and plus like coming back, and because I am Nepalese by ethnicity, right? I feel like you're just more inspired because you see in two different lenses, right? As a Nepali person and as a British person, right? So for me right now, it's Nepal. But I don't think you can go wrong with like Bali, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, Dubai, like all these countries. So it's
nice.
I think it's person dependent. But
do you think the language, like knowing Nepali, helps?
So much more, like 1,000 times.
For sure.
Because you can like
speak to the locals,
kind of get the lingo, like kind of behave, Nepali as well. So
like it's good being both. How is it like being Nepali and growing up in the UK?
I would say it's like very confusing, right?
How old were you? Like, what was the age when you moved?
I think it was six.
6, okay.
What about you?
I had just turned 11,
Damn, right?
I think it's like when you say confusing, in like what sense? Like, did you have a culture shock, or?
Yeah, I would say when you first go there as like a 6-year-old, right?
Yeah.
You have like a culture shock because it's a whole different world.
Yeah.
And obviously I couldn't speak English properly, right? And I feel like what generally happens is like, I think there's like 2-3 things that could happen, right?
Yeah.
Like you either stick with like a lot of Nepalese people, so you still are Nepalese.
Yeah. Oh, so okay, yeah.
Or like you kind of don't have any Nepalese friends in the UK, and you kind of just become like completely forget about Nepal, right? Yeah. Or you're in the third world, and I feel like a lot of people are in that boat. It's like you have like Nepalese friends, and you have like friends from other countries, right? So you know you hear like 2 different perspectives. You know you kind of confused like what perspective do I believe in?
Yeah.
Like do I believe in the perspective where like you know if it's like a British perspective, it's more like individualistic community. Like it's like I wanna like for me, what do I wanna do? What's like Nepalese culture is like what does like my parents want? What does my friends want? And all these things, right? So I think
interesting.
I kind of realized that when I was like 12, 13 because I had a lot like 2 different friendship groups like Nepali and Gora, Kale, Asian friends, right?
Yeah.
And it's like what do I actually believe in, right? And personally for me, I think I've gone through more of the British path, right?
Yeah.
But of course, there's close friends that I have who are more Nepalese than they're British. So I'll say it was confusing, but I think as you get older, you kind of understand yourself and what you actually believe in.
Yeah. Like that was such a good answer, man. I could like relate. Like as you were saying, I was imagining like I took myself back to back in the day, and like the thing you said about like the groups, like when you go there, there's always groups. You have your Nepali groups, then you have your non-Nepali group. If you're surrounded and if you grew up with like predominantly like Nepali diet, or if you had Nepali friends, your life, you just grow up differently. I think. And like you said, I think you're more in touch. I think naturally you're more in touch with like the Nepali side of you. Because you are hanging out with Nepali people. You speak the language. You're probably like eating the same thing. You're sharing. You're consuming Nepali media. But like as opposed to you not being surrounded by Nepali people growing up abroad, it's you learn more about other people's culture. You indulge in the culture and the people around you, and you know, not that you. I guess this is from person to person. Not that you forget your own culture, but then you're more accepting, and you learn more about other culture. And I think both are. There's no right or wrong answer. I think both are beautiful in their own ways, and I feel lucky that I got to experience Nepal as a kid. And then I also got to experience to live in the UK as a kid as well. So I feel very, in a way, blessed to kind of get the best of both worlds as well. Sometimes the worst as well. But like fitting in is like for me. Sorry, fitting in was like hard. Like I said, I think the main thing was the language.
It's hard.
Bro, like just honestly, when you don't know how to speak English, you just don't want to speak.
And plus, of course, like you know, the British cultures like take the mickey.
They take the piss, man.
So it's like if you have like a different accent, like I mean, not in a bad way, but people just gonna joke around you, feel right? And I think that kind of makes you like more conscious about like how you speak. But it could also be a motivation because like I think the way you speak really good English right now is because you have to go through that, right?
So, for sure. I think it's just like how you. As life goes, like how you respond to the things you happen. Life is all about the reaction. Not like the things that happens to you, but it's more like how you respond to the things that happen to you.
Can I tell you a quick story, right? So about just like speaking English, right? So, you know, like we have like different pronunciations, right? So like zoo, like we call it zoo or the zoo.
The Z is one.
So I have this crazy story, right? When I was like 14 or 15 in my French class. Beautiful French teacher, by the way. She's very beautiful, eh? But like, I think there was one of the translations that I had to do, and the word was zoo, right? Like a French translation to zoo, and she like I put my hands up, all right, she picked me or something like that, and I had to say zoo, right? But I said Jew, Jew. And she's like, what? And I was like, Jew. And it got so funny because the whole class didn't understand it. So I'd say animal park. And I kid you not, for like the next 2-3 weeks, right? Like all my friends, like they made fun of me, yeah. And what I did, right? I went home every single day. Hey.
Yeah.
After that, for like a few weeks to kind of use my pronunciation from zoo. I mean, Jew to zoo. I was reading the dictionary, like, Jew, zoo. Now I can say it perfectly.
There aren't many words that starts with Z or Z. That you can like use on a day-to-day basis. Z. Zelda.
Yeah, so that pronunciation.
But I liked my like, it was cool, man. Like I like the British culture. I like the humor. I love the banter. I feel like it's unmatched.
It's funny. I just find it funny.
It's hilarious, man. But like coming from, I don't know, just an interesting story of like, and like even like me coming back to Nepal after having the experience just feels like almost like a movie. Everything, you know, I wish like, which is why I write things down so I don't forget things like this. And sometimes I want to make into video.
Do you ever feel like, whilst you're in Nepal, right, do you ever feel like, because obviously you live in the UK, right, and you just see someone, right, like your age or like younger or whatever, right, do you ever feel like in like an alternative dimension that this would have been like my life, my perspective?
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God,
And I think that's why it feels like a movie, bro.
Yeah, like sometimes you look people your age and you'd just be like, oh, like if I had stayed here, I would most likely to be kind of like a similar path of that person. Yeah, for sure. You can't help but wonder like where you would be.
I really, when I see like that's how they really like my age, right? And the way they talk and the way they kind of like joke around and shit. Like, I probably would have said something like that, like, you know.
Yeah. Interesting.
Right?
It's the same thing with like going back to our conversation. If you hang around with Nepali people, then you kind of wondered if you didn't hang around with Nepali people as much abroad, how would your life turn out to be? I think there's a sense of comfort as well, for sure.
I think because
I think it's really good to mingle. I think it makes you open-minded. It like exposes yourself to a different just way of thinking. For sure, way of thinking.
I think you just project like your mind, you know. Because there's no like, I think wherever you go, you're always told like there's this set way to do things. But you know, different cultures, different countries have like different rules, different things they think about. And you kind of like get their perspective, and you kind of make decision for yourself if this is the right thing, you know. So I always think it's good to mingle with other cultures.
We talk about like the Nepalipan, which is like, I guess in simple terms, how much Nepali are you? And I feel like our generation, our parents moved and then we weren't born there, but then we kind of were raised there. And you know, but the next generation will be born there and they will most likely not even know how to speak Nepali properly. And I feel like there'll be like a gap, between generations and like, again, going back to Nepalipan, of how Nepali you will be. And then you'll be slightly more catered to the Western world, and you think, and that would be your home instead of like Nepal, and rightly so, because you were born and raised there. But like, then you start to wonder like what's going to happen to Nepal. You know, there's a problem of brain drain, which is where all the young minds and all the brilliant minds are going abroad to work because there are no opportunities here. But then if everyone does that, where does this country like how is it going to function without the brilliant minds?
That is very true. I personally feel like because we're Nepalese, right? So we all have this sense of feeling that you want to do something to help your country. For sure. At the end. And I feel
like every Nepali has that.
I think
I have experienced that in Nepal so much. I experience it within myself. The people I talk to, everyone's so passionate about this country and like there are people that would like won't hesitate to take a bullet for this country.
Rightly so, right? And but I think, you know, things always have to change, right? Like it's not like, you know, you love the country so much that you're gonna stay here, you know. You know, there has to be opportunities and everything here that kind of like keeps people here.
It's like that question, if you love this country so much, why do you not live here?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
That's definitely true as well, right?
Yeah.
And there's obviously arguments for that, but I think if you're someone who's very optimistic, opportunistic as well, you probably go to a different country, especially the state that the country is in, right?
Yeah.
But personally, I think for me, like the way I think of it is like, I want to make my money somewhere else and kind of help Nepal in some way in the future.
See, that's the economics.
Yeah. Like, I guess I do help in some way, but in a bigger scale, you know, like, you know. But I think, things have to change for, like, you know, people to stay here, for sure.
Yeah. So, going off that topic, how do you think that your next few months or like year is going to look like? Do you think you're going to settle here eventually when you're kind of like, when it's all said and done? Or like, do you think you're going to just hop on, hop off, kind of do what you're doing for a long run?
Personally, I think what I'm doing right now, I'm going to be doing this for like the next year or two.
Yeah.
Year or two, I think. Because personally, I've been very inspired by, like, you know, One Piece, the anime. And it's just, if you don't know what this is, it's the anime where like Kid Luffy has a pirate crew and he wants to be a king of pirates, and they go on different like islands, make adventure, learn new things, and kind of just become better, right? So I guess I kind of saw myself doing that because I watched One Piece when I was young. So I kind of see myself doing that, and for now. And I think in the long term, I'll probably have like a base, I would say. But I think my base would be like 2 or 3 different countries throughout the year.
Do you think you can live in Nepal long term?
Like, how long do you like? For how
like, just for life. Like, have you based in Nepal?
Right now, I don't think so. Like, as in, not right now. As in, like, maybe not like 3 to 4 years. Maybe not now.
Yeah.
But I think as time goes on, right? Like Nepal, I'll probably have like more Nepalese things to learn about. I don't know, things to have invest in. So maybe. But right now, I don't think so. Maybe like if you answer this question in 10 years, maybe that's a yes. But I'm really thought about that question.
Well, what do you think needs to happen in Nepal for you to be like, all right, like I can see myself living here?
I think a lot of it is like development, right?
Development, okay.
You know, the roads, the structure, because you know when you're used to like, especially the UK where the roads, I'm not saying all the roads in the UK are amazing, but it's drivable, you know, it's nice. I think this kind of infrastructure does like kind of really think about those things.
Yeah, pollution
and all these things. So for me, if that changes, then of course I'll probably stay in Nepal.
Yeah.
Other things, but I think just the infrastructure is the main thing. Infrastructure. Yeah, because I love the people. I'm Nepalese, right? So obviously I would want to mingle with a lot of Nepalese people. But I think the infrastructure and the things there, it's just like it doesn't. I think that, like you said, like we talked about before, right? There's like a
ceiling.
Yeah. And I feel like that's.
You feel like there's a ceiling in Nepal, and once you reach that ceiling, you're just hovering around, and you can't really achieve much more than the ceiling.
Yeah. So I do feel like that. I think if I stay in Nepal, so.
Nice.
But I think in the future, like when I'm like 50 or something, I'll have a lot of things in the car, right? Like we're doing Airbnb in the car. Like I'll have a lot of things.
Have like a business here in Nepal.
Yeah, like I have like a proper running business.
Yeah.
Hopefully helping people. So yeah.
Do you get tired of like moving from one place to another in such a short span?
Sometimes I guess. Sometimes, but I would say I kind of like stay in each country for maybe like 2 months at least. Bali I stayed for 5 months, but most countries at least 2 to 3 months. But I do get that because when you're changing a different country, you change environment, people, friends. Yeah. And I guess kind of be like, oh, like what's next kind of thing. So I do get that. But
how do you like deal with connections that you have made short term and like? Because like there comes a time where like you made these wonderful connections, but then it's time to depart. Like you just go separate ways.
Yeah.
But then the accumulation of that happening very frequently on all the travels, like how do you deal with like that sort of like attachment and detachment?
Yeah. I think of it like getting like a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds a bit wrong, but like guys who really you talk to a lot of girls, but you only have one girlfriend, right? At the end, or a wife. And the people that I meet, like obviously I have fun with them, like, you know, we go out or like, you know, we make videos together or like whatever, but I don't emotionally invest too much onto it. Like, I kind of be like, okay,
you're not attached emotionally.
Yeah, okay. I'm having fun with these people, but I don't know if they're gonna be my long-term friends or whatever. I don't put too much thought into it, and I don't expect too much from them as well. But when I'm with them, I have fun. So I think because of that, because not having too much emotional investment, I don't think too much.
Yeah.
But we didn't say that, like the last year I've made like, I would say like 3 to 4 friends that I think I'll be in touch.
Oh, nice.
Regardless of where we live, because of our mindset, our goals, and just the time we spend together.
Yeah, I don't know if the camera cut off before we were speaking on the topic loneliness.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was before or after.
I think it's before. I think it's before, like it cut off before.
Yeah, okay, because I feel like that was a good point as well, because we spoke about loneliness and how everyone goes to, especially if you're traveling by yourself, and then you have your doubts, and then we spoke about how important it is to have a sense of faith in someone or something that's more powerful than you.
Yeah.
You know, it could be God, it could be the universe, and like I was giving examples about how, for me, without that, I don't think I would be where I am now, because it was such a catalyst, not even a catalyst, but it was more like it gave me so much hope when things were not looking good for me.
Yeah.
That's the way I was like seeing the world, or like things I was doing, and I was having self-doubt, and you know, you have your questions where, is this for me? What are like people gonna think if I fail, and what am I gonna think if I fail? What do I do if I fail? What if this doesn't work out? And you have these self-doubts. But like I said, if you believe in something that's powerful and you have faith, and faith is so important, because it gives you that a layer of like almost like reassurance in times that you need you know, reassurance that you're on the right path. Control what you can, do the best within the parameters that you're setting, and leave the rest to the universe or God.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
And that is such a powerful, and you see, again, it's such an easy thing to sound, and it sounds so simple, right? But then to do it and like have loads of trials and errors is very difficult, and sometimes your self-doubt and the darkness like kind of outshines all this like positivity and and I don't know, I guess it comes with experience, like you dealing with that as well, and having emotional maturity, and you deal with this especially when you have like sacrificed a lot, and you're like kind of becoming someone that you're not used to, and to become someone you're not used to, you have to do things that you haven't done
before.
And that's where personal growth, and that's where like growth starts from. And so it's easy to do this. No, sorry, it's not easy to do this, but it's like it's important to do to like venture out and follow your personal calling, just like the book Alchemist. But like at the same time, it's also important to be smart while you do this. Like, you know, you were saying earlier about how if you were to do this again, or if there was someone on a similar boat, you would want them to plan first, like how you did, how I did. Plan. Don't just like indulge in the glorification of art, like traveling, blah blah blah. You see this, and the novelty wears off so quick as well. So it's important to like have plan and have like a safety net as well.
Like having a purpose. Like why are you actually doing this, right? Like, you want to travel just because you said you traveled? I mean, that's a valid reason.
That's a very good point.
That's a valid reason. Or like, you want to show off on Instagram or whatever, right? And of course, that is a valid reason. Of course, you want to show your life, all that stuff, right? But as long as you have the reason why you want to, why you're doing this, then you just keep going, man. Like, you know. Whenever there's a hard time, then it like come, and like self-doubt like kind of creeps in. And for me, like, I listen to like Steve Harvey a lot, like almost every day. It's like a quick, like 5-minute clip. My mom introduced me to him like while she was working out like a few years ago, and one of his like best one I really watched is called so one of the best clips I really watched is called "Every Successful Person Has Jumped." Right?
Has what?
Has jumped.
Jumped
out of the plane. Because, like, you know, you can stay there in the cliff,
taking risks.
Right?
Okay.
Not taking risks and be safe.
Yeah.
But if you don't jump, you would never know what's in it for you, right?
Yeah.
And it also kind of says that fact, like when you jump, your parachute is not gonna open. You know, you're gonna have bumps, you're gonna have like trying to do races, you're gonna hail off like roads on the block.
Yeah.
But as long as you believe in faith or God, that parachute will open, right? So I always have that back in my mind, and I kind of go back to that clip whenever like motivation or kind of about myself or whatever, you know. So I really recommend you guys watch those kind of clips.
Yeah. So before we wrap this up, just two things I want to touch on. One was like I want like whoever's watching, if they're on the same boat about thinking leaving their corporate job or life behind and pursuing something that they want, whether it's traveling or like making videos, what practical advice or steps can they take right now to plan, like you said? You know, you can surrender to the universe, which is important, and you conquer yourself out. Yeah. But like the practical steps, you know, I think one of the things you mentioned was having emergency funds, like you said.
Yeah. I'll also just be like very financially like literate, right? Like having knowledge about like, finance.
Even the basics.
The basics.
Yeah.
Like saving money, taxes. You know, like I would say have at least like 6 to 12 months of like living expenses saved. So you know. Yeah.
I think 6 months or 5 to 6 months is fine, depending on how frugal or what your expenses are.
How risk taker you are, right?
Yeah.
So having that, you kind of have that safety net. Like, okay, if that doesn't work out, I have this safety net. I can go on it, kind of use it to live. Yeah. Kind of figure things out, right? Just having a safety net of that kind of, you know, also it gives you a peace of mind, you know. Yeah. So definitely agree with that. Having a safety net. Yeah. And one thing I would say is like kind of know yourself. Like, you know, you wanna like kind of travel, make content, have a business. Like, do you see yourself as an entrepreneur? Are you like business savvy? Like, do you think like I don't know, like who do you look up to and stuff? Like, do you see yourself as a like an engineer? Do you see yourself as like a business person? And if you see yourself as someone who like is a business person and wants to work for yourself, then that risk is valid, right? But if you don't see yourself working for yourself in the long term, then like maybe it's not for you, right? And another thing I would say is like have a skill or a service that can provide to you that's valuable to people, right? So for me, like if you don't really know me, like I've been documenting my fitness journey for the past since I was like 16, 17. I would like post stories, post like clips of me, like you know, like
working out,
giving tips to people and all these things, right? And with that, I was able to like transform my body from like a very skinny kid to like, you know, quite like muscular, you know, like coming like second in like UK cancer competitions, powerlifting, bodybuilding, marathons, and all these things, right? And whilst doing that, I was able to like help a lot of people, like with training, like how to learn the muscle up, how to learn handstand, like how to do squat. Like these are skills that are very valuable, right? So I was able to provide a skill, and that skill, you know,
provide a service,
right? Now I think what people get wrong with the service, like they pick the one that makes the most money, like new trend, right? Or it's trading, or it's like dropshipping, and I kind of fell into that both, like trading and all these things as well, right? But the service that is skill that you should really do is that you actually find enjoyment with. Like of course, like it's not gonna be like you know sunshine all the time, but you actually want to do that skill and service. Like for me, like with fitness, I've helped a lot of people, you know, like even though I charge nowadays, I still do it for free. If someone asks me for like fitness tips, or like in the gym they ask me how to do a muscle up or a handstand, like I do it. It's fun for me, right? I don't mind that. I actually like teaching this, right? So if you have a skill or a service they can provide you that's very similar to that, then you should do it, right?
True.
It doesn't have to be fitness. It can be, you know, sales, marketing. There's so many nowadays, like, you know, I don't know if you like the manifestation.
What if there's someone that has no passion of offering services, and you know maybe they have like saved up and they want to still quit their corporate life, but they don't want to make videos or like be out there, and you know they just, I guess, I don't know, kind of want to escape, but like still see what life has to offer. Like what would you tell them?
Just want to travel.
Travel, I guess, and figure things out.
Oh oh, then just travel. Like, don't just travel. Don't think.
Just live.
Just live. Yeah, just travel. Because as you travel and like meet more people and kind of see the world, you kind of expand your mind of what you actually want to do. True. Like for me, like before I left, I was mainly just doing fitness coaching and bit of content creation. Yeah. But as like I've been able to have more time in content creation, I found that, oh my god, this is like, I find really joy in this. Sure, like, yeah. I was just understand like more marketing. Yeah. Just the world in itself. Yeah. So just travel, man. Like just travel and like you kind of slowly figure things out. Yeah. You filter things out as well. You know more about yourself. Yeah. And then from then on, I'm sure your path will be slightly more clearer. More clear, yeah. And then it'll give you're more equipped to kind of navigate from then. Yeah. And the funny thing is, right, like, I've been to all these countries and I met hundreds, thousands of people, right? Yeah. Like, we're relatively very young for doing this, right? Like, yes, on Instagram, you may see like a 19-year-old, like 20-year-old, like, kind of quit his job and made money or whatever. Yeah. Even though it's most likely a scam, right? Yeah. But a lot of people I've actually met in real life, they're in their 30s, 40s, because not everybody figures like what they want to do in their 20s, right? Yeah. So don't rush it. Like, if you kind of know yourself, what you want to do, it kind of comes, right? Yeah. Just like I think for you and for me, you kind of have like maybe like a burning desire to do something. Yeah, I have it. Like I said, but I just couldn't prioritize that because when you're at uni, you focus about getting good grades, and then you get a job, and then you focus on maintaining or like climbing up the ladder. And you could never really like set time out. And you know how busy life is in the UK. You can never really set time out to like prioritize, like really prioritize your hobby. And like again, going back to what you were saying about traveling and all that stuff, you also need to take into account that the people that you're seeing, or sometimes like the media you're consuming, is kind of like could be glorified as well, because you're seeing someone's highlight, you're not seeing the sacrifices and the hardships behind the camera that people not normally post. And you're just like constantly comparing as well. So it's just be aware, like life isn't all the sunshines. It's not. And I think this a lot of people, right? Because I think on Instagram, and I'm very guilty of this myself, kind of like not showing the struggles at times. It's just like I kind of like use Instagram just for fun, just to have like funny people and stuff. A lot of people think, oh, like this guy's just living the life, and like life just kind of works out for him. I probably work like twice as hard or as hard than I did whilst I was working corporate, right? And but I guess. Oh shit, bro. That mic has been here. Oh shit. Shit. Hopefully it catches, eh? But hopefully. But yeah, I've been like kind of working much more, so sorry, but I've been working much more, so like even though if you see the glorification online, Instagram, on YouTube, just be aware, right? Like it could be a scam and it's not what you think it is, you always have to have a lot of input for a lot of output. Yeah. Makes sense. Just be aware. Yeah, just be aware. Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, because I know we spoke about like the social media, like this life that people portray on social media versus reality. And how hard it is to maintain. And sustain. I think sustaining is very hard as well in this creative field, because you have, like, especially this it's kind of oversaturated at this point as well, so you have to have you have to do things to kind of stand out, and most importantly you have to be consistent. And I think you can sustain, but again, the first 6, maybe a year, depending on how hard you work, I guess. In general, you just have to grind it out, like the early days, weeks, months, years. Yeah, for sure. Like, because I know you said you started doing the fitness thing at uni. You were jogging. I was doing a lot, like, but I wasn't really making content for like to make content. It was more like just like hobby. Follow some tips, like a quick some tips kind of thing. But yeah, you're gonna have to grind out. I mean, there's a saying, right? It takes like 10 years to be an overnight success. So as long as you 10 years. So you gotta put in the hours. Just put in the hours and stuff. Like for me, right? Like I always I'm very happy that I found fitness at a very young age.
For me, like one of my biggest goals in like lifting in the gym was to squat 220 kilos, right? And I think I watched like one of these clips on YouTube. I saw some like my YouTubers do it. I think Terran Beckham, like one of the YouTubers, and I was like, I want to do this, right? And I think I could score like maybe like 80 or 90, and I was like, oh, like maybe take me like a year or two at like 75 kilo or 78 kilo body weight or 80 kilo body weight. It took me 5 years to get that goal, right? So it takes time, you know, like especially you want to like stand out, right, and like really be in the top 1% of your field or like you know, whatever. So like, it's gonna take time, and I always had that back in my mind, right? Like it takes 10 years to be overnight success.
Before we wrap this up, is there anything you feel like we haven't spoken about that you want to say or like cover?
I would say it's just like, you know, it's probably for more like the Nepalese and the Asian people that are watching. I would say like, you know, I know like being Nepalese and Asian, like disappointing your parents is like one of the worst things you can do. But you know, at some point you have to just like take the keys, right?
You have to be selfish
and be like, if this path is not for me, then it's not for me. I want to take a different path. And if you think that's the path that's right for you, find a way or like to do it, right? Find a way to do it or convince your parents. Because for me, man, I've seen a lot of like my friends, dads, uncles, you know, in their 30s, 40s, kind of regret a lot of things. It's like, oh, when I was younger, I should have done this. When I was younger, I should have done that. And some of them kind of got married, like arranged marriage and all these things, right? And that's something they have to live the rest of life through, right? So I was just like, you know, if you don't want to like have an arranged marriage because like someone like your friends getting married, now you have to get married, or like your friends taking this job, you have to take this job. I would say just like, you know, be yourself, and like, you know, even if it means that you have to disappoint your parents, you know.
With the parents thing, I feel like even if you feel like you will disappoint your parents, if they see you pursuing your passion and work hard, you working hard, and you genuinely being happy, because they love you, if you see them happy, if they see you happy, then they should be happy themselves. Like if I had a kid and they were pursuing something that I didn't necessarily agree with, or like but like if I saw them happy, I would look at them, and if I genuinely love them, which I will, I would be happy for them. And it's that kind of thing. So it's like disappointment is fine, but I feel like what's going to weigh heavier is the disappointed that you're going to have in yourself when you look back, and disappointed in yourself that you didn't have the courage to pursue what you wanted to do,
right?
And I think that's worse, like, because then you start resenting people.
You're gonna have a lot of resentment in life.
It's like they're saying the pain of regret weighs heavier than pain of discipline.
Way more, right? Like
way more,
you know, like I always go back to like girls, right? Because like
I love how all your examples.
The reason I always go back to girls is because like the reason is, right, like you can learn a lot of psychology through like talking to girls and kind of like dating girls, right? And the reason just said the pain of like regret of not doing it, right? Have you ever like kind of saw a girl that you thought it was interesting in the club, in the bar, in the party, but you never like approached her, right? And you go back like the next day really thinking about that. Why didn't I approach her? Why didn't I do this, right? I don't like to have that feeling, right? And I always think of that as well sometimes. So, but when you go and approach her, yes, you may get rejected, or you may succeed, but hey, at least you did it, right? And I think you should always kind of do it, like if you really want to do it.
You really want to.
And I may have just used too many like example of girls, but I feel like
no, it makes sense. I understand. I
feel like guys really understand when you put girls' perspective, because you know that's just guys, right? And just going back to the parents thing as well, I think my mom is much more happier that I'm doing my own thing. Even though like I guess like for my mom, I've always been like a golden child, like, you know, like the example to like the kids and shit. I think she's happy that I'm doing my own thing, and I even told her that like even if it comes down to like, you know, like comparing like other kids in the future, I'll be the most successful one. Because like,
are you proud of yourself?
I'm always For me, like I'm always proud of myself, because like I've gone through a lot of battles, you know, like you know, a lot of battles, and I'm always gonna be happy. And yeah, just for me, I always wanted to be successful, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Nice. Yeah. Well, any final words before we wrap this up?
Yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you can come back in.
Where can they find you?
Yeah, my Instagram, my YouTube is Siggy's Fit.
Yeah.
My TikTok is always Siggy's Fit. Yeah, follow for some inspiring fitness, travel content. Yeah, next year we're gonna have like something something special, like really
next
special.
Year.
Next year, like special journey that I'm kind of like gonna be documenting on Instagram.
Sweet.
And on YouTube as well. So yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
No, I wish you the best. I'm glad we had I think we had a really good conversation.
Yeah.
I'm kind of gutted. I don't know which way the thing stopped working.
Yeah, the camera cut off. Yeah.
We spoke about everything we wanted to speak about. I think just traveling, our individual experiences is traveling and coming here. The childhood part in the UK, growing up as Nepali, the similarities we shared. Off to like the whole universe and having faith in something that's powerful than you, and why it's important for you in this journey that we have undertaken. And you know, and keep doing what you're doing. I feel like you're very consistent as well. I think, and this is the right place to be. You're by yourself, you're traveling, and you know it's on you to make things happen for you. And I feel like you're doing it, and I'm proud of you, and I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm like a call away if you need me.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this, and I'm thankful that we got to share this.
Yeah, no,
and man. Shout out to Hankook Sarang and Sagada as well for this lovely venue, and
amazing place, eh?
Yeah, this looks like a studio.
But just like a back of the restaurant.
Yeah. So shout out to Hankook Sarang, Pokhara, Lakeside.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Honestly, this is not sponsored or anyway.
Yeah.
They were just nice enough to, I don't know, borrow this space to film this, and I genuinely think this is one of the nicest cafes, restaurant I've been in Nepal.
Yeah, 100%. Like
it's so spacious. There are kids' playground. There's waterfalls. There are like separate rooms. It feels so nice.
Yeah.
And you can see the mountains as well, the hills, the sunset, and it's really nice.
Very like Korean.
Yeah.
Korean Nepalese inspired. Eh?
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah. But anyways, thank you, and thank you for being here.
Yeah. No, thank you for having me, man. Like we spent like 2 days ago as well.
Yeah.
Thank you,
for sure. I wanna look back at this in 10 years, and we'll do another one in 10 years.
I am 100% down for that, bro.
Yeah. Imagine we're both back to corporate life in 10 years.
That's not gonna happen. Well, I hope not. Let me not like talk too much. But yeah.
All right.
See you.
Bye. Thank you, man.
Thank you, bro.
How was it?
Oh, that was good.
That was good. Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, it was fun, man.